I'm Aaron Gallo.
I'm Marty Hogan.
And I'm Eric Berry.
And we're from the Starfleet Escape podcast. And you're listening to another great Four-Eyed Radio product. For more shows, check out foureyedradio.com.
Hey listeners, Eric here, also known as Trekkie B47, from the Starfleet Escape podcast and the Ranger Command Power Hour. The more phenomenal episode you're about to listen to is brought to you by Raven Designs, illustration and design that fit your personality. For samples and inquiries, visit ravencruise.com.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. Another episode of Appropriately Inappropriate, episode number 50. You guys have made it through 49 episodes. You're about to make it to 50, although I don't know if you made it through the last episode. We apologize a million times over because it came out horribly sounding and it was almost impossible to listen to. Did you listen back to it, Nance?
I tried. So,
yeah,
we apologize. But thanks for sticking with us for 49 episodes.
Yes.
This is exciting for me. Well, first of all, because Kevin and I still talk after 50 years.
This is the only time we talk. I think that's why it works.
That's why we're still friends. Because we only talk once a week.
Yep.
When we have to.
So right off the bat, we're sorry about how the recording came out last time. But that won't happen again. We know the problem. We know what happened. We've got it fixed. We're good to go. Which is why next week we are doing our first ever Appropriately Inappropriate comedy show. It will be at Stand Up Scottsdale in the side room Thursday, July 31st at 8 p.m. It is free admission. Come in. We've got 5 comedians on the show. They're going to do a set, and then they're going to talk to us immediately afterwards. It's no editing, nothing. It's just a 1 hour show that we're going to do. The people that... What are you laughing at?
Because we've never done editing. If you listen to our show.
We did last week, and it came out miserable.
It's the first time we've ever done editing. Like, Kevin and I are just raw live on this. Only because we're too lazy to edit.
It's true.
This is what it is.
So we have the comics that you will be seeing on Thursday are Chappelle Lacey, Michael Turner, who's on the Brothers Turner podcast. It's on our network. We have Michael Cohn, we have Love Simpson, and we have Rob Mabey. So those 5 comedians will be performing for you and then talking about their sets and the origination of their jokes and this and that and the other. It's going to be a really fun time. So come out, drink, eat, everything. Stand Up Scottsdale, Thursday, July 31st, 8 p.m., and you will be able to hear that episode a week from today, Sunday.
So this is exciting for us. We're officially on the road.
We are officially on the road. And what's going to happen is we're going to do that once a month. We said once every 2 weeks, but we're going to do once a month to make sure that everybody gets there.
We don't want Kevin's plants to die. We don't want his real life going unattended.
That's true. Again, you can find me on Twitter at Kevin_Elliott. And follow me, I guess, whatever you want to do. Nancy doesn't do anything on it. Don't follow Nancy at all.
Don't follow me at all.
Unless you see her driving, follow her. She's probably going somewhere relaxing, like vacation.
I saw you driving on the freeway yesterday.
I'm a good driver.
Or was it the day before? I can't remember. It's been crazy. I've been on vacation. That's why. I just got back from Disneyland, so that was fun. I got the shirt, Star Wars shirt. I had all these extra Disney dollars, and the park was about to close, and I was like, I'm not coming home with $50 that I can't spend at home.
Yeah, good call.
So I did buy a Star Wars shirt.
For you, nothing for your kids.
Fuck that.
Okay, good call.
Yeah, we rode roller coasters. It was fun. They're finally tall enough to do fun rides.
Yeah?
We didn't even buy anything, nothing. Like, they just wanted to ride roller coasters. So that was fun for me.
That is fun. Was it busy?
So busy and so hot. It's, with Disneyland, it's really only fun, like, the last hour the park's open, because there's no lines.
Yeah.
I wish I could buy just, like, an hour pass. I'd still pay the $100 and whatever the fuck it is to get in. It's a lot. But it's worth
it is. It's an expensive vacation when you decide to do that thing.
Oh, my God. It's so expensive.
Yeah.
So, keeping our vacation traditions, my husband got hurt.
Oh, shit. What did he do now?
This is great. We went to downtown Disney for dinner. And we went to ESPN, that restaurant.
Right.
Yeah. Because he's like, I just want beer, because there's no alcohol in the park.
Yeah.
So we go to the ESPN, and we ordered a drink, and he tells me to try his beer because he thought it tasted watered down. I'm like, all right, fine. So he goes to give it to me, and he drops it. And glass just shatters everywhere. And I see it happening. I'm like, oh, I pull my hands away. He tries to grab it. Like, he's dropped it. He's like, oh, shit, and tried to grab it. So there's, like, shattered glass on the table with big shards sticking up. He puts his hands through the glass on the table. So he brings his hands back up, and he's just bloody everywhere.
Oh, shit.
And the waiter, like, just left our table, and he thought that the glass popped. Like, you know, when you pull, like, a hot glass out of the dishwasher?
I
Well,
guess,
never mind,
no.
you don't clean. And you pour something cold in it, sometimes glass breaks.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh my God, it popped. We're so sorry. Sometimes blah, blah, blah. We're like, no. We were trying to explain to them that it was our fault. Whatever. I don't care. I don't need free beer.
I do.
I can afford Disneyland. I can afford beer. So they were really, like, freaked out. We can have a nurse here in 5 minutes. If you need medical attention, he's bleeding everywhere. Freaking out the kids.
Yeah.
Not my kids. They're used to him. They're like, oh, Dad got hurt again. So they were like, you know, replacing our drinks, giving us free this and that. And we're trying to tell them, no, we don't need it. We just let us get out of here. It was just such a fucking production.
I'll tell you.
We can't go anywhere without him getting hurt.
But you made it back safely, I guess? Like, he's alive at home right now?
Right.
Okay, good. And the
Still
kids
able
are
to drink
alive?
beer.
Everybody's alive at least?
Barely.
All right, but alive nonetheless.
Yeah.
Good for you, man. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Our guest today has a family himself.
Okay.
I have tried forever to get this guy on the
Since
show.
episode 3.
I really, has it been?
Pretty
I think
much,
it
yeah.
has been.
If I scrolled through our texts, it would be like 1 year ago today.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've literally tried forever to get him in.
Okay, so
What?
back up real quick. What was your first, like, he's a friend of yours, right?
Yeah.
So you texted him, I've got this podcast, come on. How'd this go?
Exactly like that.
Because I'm going to ask him the same question.
No, you know what? I told him about it. I think I told him about it at the club. And was like, dude, I got to get you on. He's like, all right, let me know, and I'm in. Well, every time I let him know, he like, oh, cool, I'm in. And then he has to cancel for some reason.
Yeah. Is he local? Does he live in Arizona?
Yeah, he lives in Arizona. But anyways, he's a really funny comedian. Toured with Cat Williams. We're going to talk to him about that. We're going to talk to him about a bunch of stuff because he's a really funny guy. I think you all are going to like him. His name is Clayton Perkins, and you guys are going to really, really enjoy this episode. And everybody, welcome in my man, who I've tried forever, again and again, to get in. Clayton Perkins is here. What's up, Clayton? Woo!
What up, Daddy?
How many times have I asked you to do the podcast?
Man, I don't know, man. It's been we've been trying to do it at least since the beginning of the year.
Okay,
For sure.
Let's back that up just a touch.
All right.
All right, since Kevin and I started doing this podcast, hey, my friend Clayton Perkins is coming on. I've looked you up a couple times. Not to get weird. Don't let this get weird.
All right.
Just looked you up a few times. And this week he's coming on, and this week he's coming on. And I wanted to hear it from you. So is Kevin, like, texting you, calling you? How do you guys know each other?
I see him I see Kevin at the comedy club at Stand Up Scottsdale, and the first time I seen him, was it open mic?
I think
It
so.
was either open mic or one of the shows they have up there, and we always, just always.
Oh, you know what? No, it wasn't. It was the Sunday Showcase, Turner's Sunday
Right,
Showcase,
that's what it was,
when you
the
headlined
showcase.
it.
Yeah. So, and that was.
It was a long time ago,
Yeah.
dude.
It's
It's like 6 months ago.
But
at
he's
least.
here now.
Yeah, so
He is here
he
now.
was saying I gotta get you on the show. I gotta get you on the show. So I was like, "Fuck it, I ain't doing nothing."
He's
Thanks
here.
for coming out.
He's here. Yeah, thank you, man, for coming. Clayton, right off the bat, where can people find you at? Twitter, Facebook, Instagram,
You can catch
dates,
me on
anything.
my Facebook is
Tinder?
Clayton Perkins. It's real simple. Facebook Clayton Perkins. Twitter is at Clayton J Perkins. What else I got? Instagram big_perk. My address is
No? All right.
That's it. That's it. If you want to find me, and then on the weekends, usually when I'm doing comedy on the weekends, I'm at Stand Up Scottsdale.
Yes, he is.
Catch me there Friday or Saturday.
And you tore it up last night, both rooms.
It was alright.
No, dude, it was funny.
It's all in a day's work. It's always developing. It can always be better. It can always be funnier.
Yeah.
But I had fun.
Let's talk. We're going to talk about you a little bit, but it's easy because talking about you and I think talking about your comedy is the same thing. Because you talk about your life on stage.
Yep.
And, all right, so a big thing in your set that you talk about is you're married, right?
Right.
To a Mexican woman.
Right.
She's older than you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. My wife is 8 years older than me.
Woo! How
I
did that
older
happen?
women. Yeah, man. You know what? It happened. I don't know. I always liked the older women. Like I liked my teachers in high school. I didn't even like the girls. You know.
Before it was cool,
I always
Clayton liked his teachers.
And I always was told you gonna grow up and marry an older woman, and I have.
We know he had an incredible mother. If you
Yeah,
married an
right.
older
You know, my
woman.
mom was 16 years older than me, so I try to go
Whoa.
close to that. You know?
Perfect. She set an example for you. This
She
is what
couldn't
you
bring her
look
friends
for
around the
in a
house.
woman.
It was like, stay
So
away.
I'm always like older. Even my mama was older than me. So, yeah,
And you're from Dayton,
I'm
Ohio?
from Dayton, Ohio.
Okay,
All
so
right.
you have a wife. Do you have kids?
I have a daughter. My daughter is 11 years old. She lives in California. She's mixed. She's half black and half crazy. I'm black. Her mama's crazy. And then I have. That's going to get out there. I don't care. And then I have step cheering. So I'm raising kids.
You're busy.
What do you say about stepkids? They're what?
They're the wedding gifts you can't return. I say step kids are like dogs. The more you feed them, the more they start looking like you.
Oh, it's
That's
so
fun.
true. I'm a single dad. So my son isn't with me all the time, but I do see him. Is that tough, knowing that your daughter's not even in the same state as you?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, you know, it's getting easier because she's getting older. Mm-hmm. So when I talk to her, I don't feel like I have to put on a "Hey, babe," talking all loud. "Hey, baby," you know what I mean? Because she's getting older, so I can actually communicate with her and talk to her, let her know I love her, I'm thinking about her, I miss her, and you know, she's 11. She's 11 years old, and I try to see her as often as I can. I just saw her a few weeks ago, and I'm going back in the next couple weeks, get her ready for school and everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Yeah, and so my son's 5, so it's like, yeah, I do that. I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, I love you, I love you, I love you.
Yeah.
Well, I guess once they get older, you're probably right. They understand.
Right.
So they kind of,
Right.
the more I guess you can talk to them,
Yeah.
they get it. Like, my dad lives here, he loves me, he's a cool dude.
Yeah.
I'm with crazy mom.
Right. Yeah.
Does she ever come out here and hang with you?
It's been a while since she's been out here, but yeah, she does. Last time she came out here, she liked to jump on my bed, so I don't know if she's still into that. That's how long it's been. You know, she was telling people like, "What you about to do? We about to go to my daddy's house and jump on the bed. You more than welcome to come." Yeah.
And how old are the stepkids?
My stepson is 17.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he you know, it's crazy. You got another man in your house, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like he stinks, you know. He's lazy, you know. He's really coming along. You know? And then I have a stepdaughter that's 14. She's the baby, you know. She's the entitled one.
Yeah.
Never worked a day in her life.
Because she's 14.
But I mean, she acts like, you know, she adds in, like she puts in, like, you know, she eats up everything, has food in her room, like the food I paid for. And then my stepdaughter, she's in college. She's 19.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So 3 stepkids.
3
But
stepkids.
2 in the house and 1 out?
2 in the house, 1 out. And I didn't ask for this. I didn't sign up for this. It was just
I didn't sign up for my
upon
kids,
me.
but they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, so, you know, you got to do what you got to do, I guess. It's part of life. I tell you what, having kids in your house doing comedy is the best thing for any comic, because kids are just naturally funny.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even think. I mean, I remember one time we was at home and my wife had made something to eat, and she's like, "How is it?" And my stepdaughter was like, "Burnt." Just like that, like, and I was like, you know what? That's a pretty good description of what it is. Yeah, it's burnt. Yeah, baby, it's burnt.
She said it, not me.
They can say anything.
I mean, and she wasn't even trying to be funny. She was serious, like eating it, like, it tastes burnt. I think that what you was going for? Yeah, that's what it is.
That's awesome. Would you say that, well, I'll get into that in a little bit, because we're going to start like when you started comedy and then how it's kind of changed. But let's go back to Dayton, Ohio. Born there?
Born and raised
And
Dayton.
When did you leave Dayton, Ohio?
I left Dayton in 1998, September 4th. 1998. I jumped on a Greyhound and I rode, which was supposed to be 3 days. I rode 4 days to Pasadena, California.
Really?
Yes.
For what reason?
I went to go to school and play football. Really, I went to go play football, but school was there too. But yeah, I left on to go play in junior college. In
Okay. I was like, dude, UCLA? I'm a UCLA guy.
Oh, you know what? I rolled past UCLA a few times, the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't have the grades to go to. I ain't had the grades to go to UCLA. I ain't had the gas money nor the grades, so it wasn't work out.
What position did you play football?
I played defensive end.
Yeah?
Defensive end in high school, and then I got to college, and my coach was like, you know what? You should play defensive tackle. And so I gained about 60, 70 pounds.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I used to go to the grocery store and steal T-bone steaks and put them in my hip.
Did you really?
Oh, man, I was eating steaks for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, man. I had to beef up. The soups wasn't getting it. So, yeah, I played defensive tackle in college. Yep.
So, and how long? A couple years?
I played there for a couple years. I went there for 3 years. I went to a 2-year school for 3 years.
Dude, that's all right, bro.
Yeah.
8 years to get a 4-year degree from here.
So I played there, and then I transferred to a school called Western New Mexico University.
Okay.
Yeah, when you say
I do.
You know when you say a school called, you know it ain't. You know, don't nobody know what it is. You know what I mean? It's a school called Western New Mexico University in Silver City, New Mexico, about 5 hours away from Arizona, and I went there from college. I was there. I was in school for a total of 7 years. I didn't graduate, but I mean it was a good experience. I mean I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I learned a whole lot. So yeah, then I transferred there and started playing ball there.
Cool, man. And so tell me, for me, this is crazy. Because I was trying to explain this the other day. Being in comedy, you meet a lot of famous comedians and act, whatever. Mm-hmm. And that to me is nothing. It's like, whatever. Nice to meet you. We're the same, but we're not. You know what I mean? Like, you're more successful, but whatever. But when I meet a professional athlete, I lose my shit. I'm a little kid that's starstruck. I don't know how to talk to them.
You know what? I never really get starstruck on people. I'm trying to think who I've ever met that I was never.
Never been ever?
No.
No?
I never really, I meet people and it's like, all right, you a man.
I mean, that's the way it should be.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there was anyone. No.
Nance, what about you?
No, I don't get starstruck either.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
Who's the most famous person you've ever met?
I told you this a couple of times ago, Vin Diesel. But it was like, oh, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Was he hitting on you?
Not at all. He was like weird. I was like, hey, it's nice to meet you. He's like, blah, blah, blah. He like did some act for me. And I was like, okay, thank you.
That was his
he did like a funky act.
Yeah, that's what they do when usually when they're famous like that, they meet people and they have the same few lines for different. Like he probably looked at you and was like, oh, she good looking. Hey, swoopy dooby doo boo boo.
And all the other girls were like, some goofy thing, and I was like, swoopy doo boo boo. Yeah, I didn't get it. I didn't get it at all. But whatever. Yeah, I didn't get starstruck. Mostly, I think I'm just more lazy than anything. I'm just like, whatever, cool, whatever. Back to doing what I was doing. Yeah.
So, did you have...
what about you? Starstruck you?
Professional athlete.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I played basketball with Michael Jordan once, and I shit my pants.
Now, if I'd have met somebody like Michael Jordan...
It was weird, dude.
I probably would have been. I don't know. Yeah, I probably would have been starstruck. We wear the same shoe size too. I'm like, man, let me get a pair of them Jordans, please. No. Please, can I get a pair? But if there was anybody in the world that I would love to meet, and I'm sure I would be starstruck about, it would probably be Stevie Wonder.
Yeah,
if I met
that
Stevie
makes
Wonder,
sense. Yeah,
I would probably, man. I'd be like, man, I know you don't know me, man, but I got on a black and gray striped shirt. I got to watch.
He says you look familiar.
I'll be describing everything for
you. You feel familiar.
Yeah, probably Stevie Wonder. Probably.
That's cool, dude. What about you? Do you have somebody that you think you
Well, they're not. I've thought about this a lot, and all the people I'm more obsessed with, if you say, are like characters. Like Beavis and Butthead, are my favorite, but...
So if you met Beavis and Butthead,
I'd be so excited to sit down and have a talk with these two. I know they're not real.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you can't meet them, right? You do understand.
But I don't think there's anybody. I don't know.
All right. Do you even know who the real Beavis and Butthead is? Like, who does their voices?
Mike Judd is.
Would you know him if you saw him?
No. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to see him any other way. These two little characters.
I think he bags your groceries now.
Right.
Did you have NFL aspirations?
I had NFL aspirations only because I was in that environment. Really and truthfully, it was just something to shoot for. I was decent, too.
I was going to ask, dude, were you good?
I was pretty decent in football. My last couple years of it, I tell you what, I didn't really have the work ethic to be a professional. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I know what you mean. I'm lazy.
I despise practice. I would lift weights, but I hated running. I despised practice, and I just didn't. Yeah, I just.
So you had the appetite. You ate the T-bone.
Oh yeah, well it sounded good. You know how it is. When you be trying to make when you broke, you be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this because that's gonna make me a whole bunch of money.
Right.
And that's the only reason why I really. But
to
other than
start
that,
your workout routine, what time do you typically wake up? Back when you were practicing.
Let me see. What time did I have to be in class was the question. Usually an hour after that. But no, if it was they had us on a workout regimen, so we had to get up early.
What's early?
About 5:30 in the
done.
morning.
Count me out.
And I didn't even want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, but I had to. I had to. But no, as far as playing ball, I would. It would have been good to do, but it wasn't like when it didn't happen. I wasn't trying to chase the dream. Like I had a whole bunch of teammates who they played ball, and then you be like, "What you doing now?" "Oh, I'm playing over the developmental indoor church league." You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you doing that? Like, yeah.
One guy made it to the arena football league from there, man.
That's exactly how it was. This one dude, he's the tight end for the Cowboys. Like, man, please, you got insurance to be doing that, dummy?
Did you ever get a sack?
Oh, I got a few sacks.
What's that feel like, dude?
Oh man, I'm gonna tell you about my football career. This is how my football career was. In the 9th grade, I played football. I didn't play in the 8th grade, I didn't play in middle school at all because I didn't have the grades to play. 9th grade, I played, and I didn't have the grades to play 10th or 11th grade. Then I played senior year and tore it up. I played defensive end. I had 8 sacks, like 50-something tackles. But I wasn't a student. I mean, I really wasn't. And so after having a season like that, I just so happened to get in contact with a couple coaches, and they was like, that's why I went the junior college route. And that's, you would think, oh, now you're going to junior college. All you got to do is get yourself together, go to class, nope, didn't do it then either. You know what I mean? But it just so happened I had a good senior season. It got me out of Dayton, Ohio, and allowed me to go somewhere and do something. And I went to Pasadena, and I played there. And then from there, like I said, I went to New Mexico. So I might have played. My football career may have been a total of 6 years.
Did you have a sack dance?
Nah, I didn't have a sack dance.
You acted like you've been there before?
Yeah. Like I said, my senior year, I killed it. 8 sacks. And then after that, sacks came far and few between. My stats was so terrible. I was keeping stats in practice. Like, that'd be a good today. Yeah.
Dude, what was that bus ride like leaving Dayton, Ohio to California?
Man, it was supposed to be 3 days. It ended up being 4 days.
Right. So what happened?
What's crazy is the reason why it ended up being the 4th day, because the bus had broke down or something. Or no, the bus driver, we had stopped in Flagstaff. I ain't know nothing about like Arizona at all.
And that's your first stop. Is the place that's nothing like it.
It was in the middle of the night, and the bus driver was like, "Well, I don't know where the other driver is, but he should be here shortly. I'm going to go and take off." And he left. So I'm on the bus. I woke up to hear him say it, and then I went back to sleep. And I'm like, all right, we'll get there when we get there. Then I wake up, and it's morning time. I'm like, we in the same spot, man.
Oh, shit.
Let me take my ass back to sleep. I go back to sleep. I wake up, and it's like the mid-day. I'm like, we've been here. We was at that stop for, like, I want to say at least 12 hours.
Jesus, man.
So it cut back time.
Yeah.
And then eventually I made it into L.A. I made it into Los Angeles on the 4th day. But the thing about making it into Pasadena, there was only 1 or 2 buses that left throughout the day to take you from L.A. to Pasadena. After a certain time, they didn't run anymore. I got there later than that time. And I've told this story to a few people. I got there later than the time, and I had left something on the bus. So I had to go to customer service and say, tell this girl she worked there, and she had an attitude. I was like, I'm sorry, I left my box on the bus. Passenger or driver? Passenger. What's the bus number? 1919. I think it was 1919. I remember it or something like that. And so she went back and got the box. It was like one of them old makeshift
makeup
care
boxes?
package that somebody gave me. Yeah, you know what I mean? It had like drawers in it, some pictures from throughout the year. And she came back with the box. And she was nice then, because when she left, I was like, because she was like, what side of the bus? And I'm like, the passenger side. What bus number? 1919. And she left. I was like, man, no stinking ass bitch. You know. Then she came back and was like, cool. Like, you didn't tell me it was heavy, and gave me a smile. And I was like, all right, cool. So this was during the time when cell phones, we didn't really have cell phones like that. So I had to use, I think I ended up using their phone to call my coach to let him know I was there.
Yeah.
And was like, you know, coach, this is Clayton. You know, I'm in LA. I missed the bus. You know, he was like, well, you know, Coach Lothar is he lives out there, and he can come pick you up tonight. You're gonna stay with him and his folks. He comes out to Pasadena, you know, tomorrow for practice, or if you know for meetings or whatever. You can ride with him. So I was like, all right, cool. So I hung up the phone with him. When I got the phone with him, the girl was like, did you get in contact with your people? And I was like, yeah. She's like, oh, I was going to say you could stay with me. Just like that. And so I was like, what? All right.
Yeah, let me call Coach back. I'm good.
Man, I was like, let me call him back. And I called him and was like, Coach, yeah. And I'm fresh off the bus from Dayton, Ohio. I don't know nothing.
Yeah.
And I was scared to tell him what was going on. I was like, yeah, I met these nice people. That's what I said. I didn't say, oh, I got this chick here, man. It's going down. I was like, I met these nice people, and they said I could stay with them. And he was like, okay, well, if that's what you want to do. And I was like, freedom? I was like, yeah. So I ended up going to the girl's house. Spent the night. And I ain't going to go into details. All right. But I'm going to tell you this. 4 days on a bus is not kind to your sex game. So I came in like 4 minutes. 4 days equals 4 minutes. And that was the last of her. If you're out there, hey, whatever your name was, I don't even know your name. But that was my first time leaving Dayton, Ohio, making it to Pasadena. It happened just like that.
Were you nervous or excited to leave Dayton?
I was nervous because I didn't know nothing other than.
Yeah.
But I wasn't scared.
Had you been anywhere besides Dayton, Ohio up to that point?
No.
Oh, wow. So you saw the country from the bus.
Right.
And then stopped in L.A.
Right.
One of the two craziest cities in America.
Right. Yep. And lived out there for 3 years.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And then got the hell out to New Mexico where there's nothing.
Where there's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Dude, that's cool, man. It's cool when I hear stuff like that.
Yeah.
To just go. You turn 18 and you get the hell out. And, and you're on your own. Like, that's pretty awesome. So let's get into, when did you come to Arizona?
I came to Arizona. This is a story too. I came to Arizona in 2005, or no, 2005, in the middle of July. Oof. In the middle of July. Yep. And I just
the best time of year.
Yeah.
People come here to die.
And that's what I came here to do. I came here to absolutely die. No, I that story is crazy. I'm not gonna get too full into detail, but only reason why I was in Arizona is because I was going to school in New Mexico, and I had a teammate who lived out here, and my brother was getting married in Ohio, so I called and tried to get flights, and Silver City was so small it was no airport. The closest airport was either 5 hours away in what's the New Mexico
Albuquerque, yeah.
It was either 5 hours away to Albuquerque, or it was 5 hours away Phoenix.
Yeah.
And I had never been to Albuquerque, but I had been through Phoenix, going to California to visit my daughter. I knew it was halfway from here to California, so I was like, forget it. I'll just go out to go there. So I hooked up with him, told him, man, I'm gonna be coming that way. Look out for me. So when I drove, he kept my car. I got my flight. I went to Ohio, and then on the way back, June 21st, 2005, I got home. I got here. I landed at 1 o'clock in the morning. By 10 o'clock p.m., I was arrested.
Oh, shit.
I was arrested. I got arrested. Arrested. I don't know what came over me, man. I was like, man, I got to commit a crime because it's hot out here. I know they got AC in jail. So I did the crime. It was like 6 months a tent. I was like, what?
Oh,
what? They sentenced me to a tent. Yeah, and it's crazy, man, because the story is so crazy. It's just crazy. One day I'm gonna tell that story. One day I'm gonna write it down and I'm gonna tell it on stage because it was. I mean, it really happened that way. I came out here just passing through, and then I ended up getting involved with this cat and whatever was going on. It was something happened, and then we ended up getting arrested. We got arrested not even 24 hours later, and sentenced to 6 months.
I'm so interested as to what it is.
Man, that's why I behave, because it's so fucking hot here.
I didn't
I'm
know
terrified
nothing about
to
it.
go
I had no idea.
tents.
Yeah.
And you know, and really, I don't even think it was really that serious. But Arizona got a way of, man, once they slap cuffs on you for something, you know, and they got this saying, they say, the police don't know anything until somebody that starts talking, and then the person that starts talking, that's usually the person that's done something.
Yeah.
So I didn't have no information for them. They asking me, like, what's going on? Look, man, my name is Clayton Perkins. I came here to get some weed and smoke some weed, but that's it. And then they asked him, like, what's going on? Oh, that's Clayton Perkins right there. He lives at New Mexico, right next to a bowling alley. He go to school. He told all my business. Jesus. And they was like, well, what about you? Oh, I can't tell you nothing about me. I wasn't even around. I was just with him. In so many words, that's about how it happened.
Oh, shit. Well, when you're ready to go the whole story, come back on, dude, because I want to hear it.
It's a good story, man. I told it before. You know, it's just, it'll take too long.
Yeah?
It'll take way too long.
It may not even be illegal anymore, so don't worry about getting in trouble.
Oh, yeah, I'm clear. I'm clean and clear. I got in trouble that one time and never got in trouble ever again. But it's crazy because, like I said, I was just passing through. And Arizona is the place that I first ever jumped on a stage and went to an open mic.
Yeah?
And started doing comedy.
Let's get into that. Let's get into the comedy stuff, man, because this is the fun stuff that I like talking with you.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Man, I've been doing comedy since I was born. But I didn't hop on a stage and try to really make something out of it until I was 30.
Okay. So 30. Yeah, pretty recent, but recent. I mean,
pretty recent.
4 years.
4 years. I'm 34. But the way it happened was, I was working at this strip club.
Go on.
And I always was just like a clown. Like even when I was in school, I was in the 4th grade, and Miss March was my 4th grade teacher. Real sweet lady, she had big old teeth. I told you I like older women. Miss March. And I would always clown. I was one of those kids that got in trouble in school for just clowning. I wasn't bad or disrespectful. I just was.
You're the class clown.
I was the epitome of the class clown. Anything for a laugh. Anything for a laugh. And then we had a free period one day at the end of the day, and it was like, you know, the end of the class, and Miss March was like, all right. She sat down in her chair and she said, all right, Clayton, I'm gonna give you 15 minutes. Get on up there and just make us laugh. And I went up there for 15 minutes. I don't even know what all I think I did some. I think I might have did some Martin Lawrence material on top of, you know, some of the stuff I had been thinking. And by the time I got done, she was in tears. She was literally wiping tears from her face, like. Because that's how black people laugh, like it hurt, like. And she said, boy, when you grow up and you become a comedian, I want tickets. Just like that. But so I always been a fool. And so I was working at this strip club, and the DJ, we was talking, and he was like, yeah, man, I went on this date with this chick, man. And she said that she told me that she did comedy. He was like, so we went on a date to one of her open mics. He was like, she was fucking terrible. He was like, I was telling one of the girls' names. I don't even know. You know, they never use their real name. I don't know what the girl's name was. Her name was Bubblegum or some shit. I don't know what her name was. But he was like, I was telling Bubblegum. I was telling Bazooka Bubblicious that about the date, and she told him, you know who I think would be good at that? Clayton. Clayton is hilarious. Like, he's funny. He was like, so I'm just telling you this. Maybe you should go check this place out. It's called Mardi Gras. It's in Scottsdale. He was like, look it up, man. They do open mics. You know, I think it's on a Tuesday or a Thursday we had went. So you should check it out. And I was like, all right, cool. And then about a week or so later, I looked up the place. I found out where it was, and I started going. But before, that wasn't my first time ever getting on stage to do comedy, because before that, when I was in high school, I was a junior in high school, and they was having a talent show. And the girl that was like part of the committee throwing the talent show on, she came up to me one day and she was like, I put your name on the list for the auditions for the talent show for stand-up comedy. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah, just do it. Like, you funny, you just do it. And I did it. I did it my junior year, and I won.
No way. The whole talent show?
I won the whole talent show.
What?
I won the whole.
Look, I know you're funny, but your first time.
Yeah, I was up there. I was up there. It was the hackiest shit. I talked about my mama. I talked about my daddy whooping my ass, my mama whooping my ass. I talked about scary movies. You know, because that was like I always watched comedy. When I was a kid, when I was like 9, 10, 11, I always we had a VCR deck, and I used to record comedy. This is when HBO One Night Stand would come on, and it would be like it would be like dun, 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 dun. It was all cheesy music. It was like HBO, and every time I heard it, every time I caught it, I would record it, because this is when you didn't have a timer, you couldn't set, didn't know what time, there was no schedule, and I every time I heard it, I recorded, and sometimes it would be people that I didn't really think it was funny, but I remember I recorded it, and I called Martin Lawrence. I called Martin Lawrence HBO 30-minute special. And I mean, it was hilarious. And before that time, like, I knew I liked making people laugh, and I knew what laughter was. But before that time, he was the first person I saw that I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I want to do that. And then we had, I remember one day we had a family meeting. Or it was like a family get-together, meeting, gathering, whatever. It was a meeting. You know, it was an
intervention.
Right, and because it sounded all formal, a meeting. But this was my dad's side of the family, so they was real formal. It was a meeting, you know what I mean? My mom's side was like, oh, yeah, we was over my grandmother's house one day. You know, my dad was like, we had a meeting. And all of the adults was like, hey, let's, how about we have all the kids stand up and tell us what they want to be when they grow up? And when usually when black people say that, they saying, impress us as much as y'all can, because we ain't got nothing else to do but to fuck with y'all. You know what I mean? And kids are like, oh yeah, I'm about to shine on them. You know what I mean? All my cousins got up and they trying to be impressive. When I grow up, I want to be a pediatrician. You can't even spell pediatrician. And my brother stood up. My brother, I have a twin brother.
Woo, you do?
I do. My brother stood up and was like, when I grow up, I want to be the first black president. And you know, everybody stand up and say what they want to be. Ooh, and then I stood up and was like, when I grow up, I want to be a comedian. Exactly. That's exactly what happened. It was silent. Was it? Didn't nobody say nothing.
Why? Do you know why?
I'm pretty sure they was like, a damn comedian, sit your ass down.
Really?
Yeah, it was like they didn't nobody say it, but you know, you could tell they was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but to us, looking at it, it's the most attainable thing out of all of them, right?
Out of everything. But I you know, at the time, I know they was looking at me like, silly motherfucker, you can't do that. Like, what you mean? You want to be a comedian? Because everybody else was trying to be. Everybody else, you could tell whether that's what they felt they were going to be. It's like they just was putting on for the adults. You know,
yours was legitimate.
Man, my first black. That's what they should have said when my brother said first black. Like, first black. Motherfucker, you got on your brother's drawers. You and your brother's straight drawers. Your drawers got his doodle stains in them. You gave me no damn first black. Sit your ass. Sit your damn.
Maybe the second one. The second black person.
But
not the first.
But yeah, it was. And you know what's crazy is, out of everything that everyone said that day, no one is doing that. Out of all
course,
the things that kids said,
rarely.
No one. Maybe my cousin. I think he wanted to be a truck driver or something. You know, he was 4. He was in the trucks. But other than that, nobody else.
Do you have a big family?
I have a big family, yeah.
Like, how many brothers, sisters?
Oh, no. A big, I don't have a big immediate family.
But overall?
Overall, I have a big family. But I have a twin brother. I have a sister who's 8 years younger than us from my mom and my dad. And then my father has 2 other daughters, which are my little sisters. Okay. They're young. They're 17 and 14 or 13.
Oh, weird.
Like yeah. But I mean, I have a tight knit family.
Yeah.
I have a tight knit family. Yeah, my mom and dad married. They did divorce. They divorced, but they stayed cool.
Yeah.
And constant. That's
awesome.
Oh yeah, I lived in Dayton, Ohio, where everything is in walking distance. Both of my grandmothers was in walking distance from my house. And I would walk. It wasn't a day or even a week that went past, I didn't see both of my grandmothers.
Yeah.
You know, because I went to me and my brother would go to school from my grandmother's house. And then my other grandmother, she lived the closest. She lived like not even a mile away, and we walked over there just about every day. And my type of family was the type where you go, when you went over there, you didn't knock on the door, you didn't ring the doorbell, you walk straight in.
That's awesome.
You walk straight in, you go straight to the fridge, you know what I mean? Like you at home, you know.
Yeah.
That's the type of family I had. Yeah. But no one, when I said I wanted to be a comedian, this my father's side of the family, which I said was a little more, they was a little more serious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a little more serious when it came.
So maybe that's why they didn't take to it right away.
Yeah, I don't know. But
They're like,
my
you need an
uncle,
office job.
My uncle 2 weeks later came to me and was like, he was the only person. My uncle Daryl, he's married to my
Your
to
aunt?
my dad's sister. And so he came to me and he was like, man, you say you want to be a comedian, man. You could be whatever you want to be. Like, this is the first time anybody ever talked to me.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, and that's exactly how he talked, like he was in a 1970s hood flick. Man, Jack, if you want to do what you want to do, sucker, you can do whatever you want to do. You later for them sissies. Nah, but he was like, man, you could be whatever you want to be, man. He was like, in fact, I got something for you. He pulled out a VHS tape of this guy. His name was Derek something, or Roderick something. I can't think of his name, but he was a gospel comedian. He would do churches, and actually the tape that he gave me was a set of his stand up at a church, and it was funny. You know what I mean? It was funny. It was funny. He had some funny stuff. It was mainly about churchy stuff. But I wanted to hear motherfucker shit, bitch, damn, and get off your ass and jam. You know what I mean? Like, but he was the only person that encouraged me. He was the only person that literally encouraged me. And I remember one time being at home, and my dad, who was real militant, my dad was like militant. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, he was militant, I guess because he was in the military, but he was only in there for like 4 years during peacetime, and it was the Navy. So I don't know why he was so mean and militant. But my dad one time was telling me, you think you funny, huh? You in school acting a damn fool. You think them people, when you make them people laugh, you know what they say? They say, he's stupid. They call you stupid. Like, he was trying to belittle me. They call him stupid. Because, when you, especially like black folks, we laughing like, that motherfucker's stupid. That's the best compliment you can give somebody that's funny. You know what I mean? He was, you stupid. You stupid. So it was like kind of it discouraged me. It discouraged me. And I never forgot that.
Obviously not.
And one time my dad came and visited me recently. It's been almost a couple years now. He came out here to visit me, and the weekend he came, I was working Stand Up Live with Bruce. I was hosting the Bruce show. Yeah. So he got a chance to see me. You know what I mean?
Had he ever seen you before?
He had never seen me before.
Cool.
He knew I was doing it. By that time, I had been doing it for a couple years.
Right.
So he knew I was doing it, but he had never seen me before, and he was like, this is the one thing I could say about, like, especially me for comedy. Like, you could do it in front of 1 million people. You can make whatever money you're gonna make doing it, or you can have whatever experience you're gonna have doing it. Nothing solidifies it more than doing it in front of your family. And maybe for me, because I wasn't encouraged as well, but I just think the fact that anything that you do, if your parents know about it, then it's, you figure there's some people that probably do stuff that they, it's probably porn stars that their parents don't even know that that's what they do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it really solidified it for me to be able to do it in front of my family.
And he loved it?
Oh, man, he loved it, man.
Yeah.
He was tripping, man. He was like, man, he was crazy. I talk like this because that's exactly how my dad talked. Yeah. It was crazy, man, to see you in front of those people, man, and you, like, was so engaged, and you really had to draw them people in. He was like, and it was hosting. So hosting is one of those things where you're the first person up. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, I know y'all just came off the street, but I am what I am, and I'm here to do this for y'all. He was like, man, the fact that you was able to, you drew them people in, you got their attention, and they was really laughing. He was like, I couldn't really enjoy you because I was too busy looking around, looking at people laugh at you.
That's cool, though. Yeah.
And I was like, remember you told me they was laughing at me, motherfucker, when you said I was stupid? I was like, you know what they said, too, when they was laughing? They said, he's stupid.
But that had to feel like a sense of, I guess maybe a sense of accomplishment. Like, your dad's now proud of you for this thing that he was like, I don't know if he was necessarily saying you couldn't do it, but just so outlandish of an idea. Yeah. And then he sees it and is like, dude, you're awesome.
Yeah, I don't even think that I give my dad a pass on a lot of the stuff he did growing up. Because my dad was young. He was 17 years old.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine being 17 and raising twins.
Two, yeah.
You know
He
what
was
I mean?
like, oh, shit,
In a
you're pregnant with one?
Right,
No,
in,
two.
in a society that tells you, oh, man, you ain't going to be shit. And then you got 2 kids, oh, man, shit. Ain't neither one of y'all going to be shit.
Yeah.
At least one of y'all ain't going to be shit. You know what I mean? And out of all of us, I'm the one that's mainly ain't shit. You know what I mean? But,
What's your twin bro doing?
My brother lives in Houston.
Oh,
Houston,
it's
Texas.
so hot there.
Yeah, Houston is a lot like Phoenix.
Yeah, but
It's
way humid.
Way humid.
And the
A
bugs
bunch of
are
Mexicans.
huge.
Yeah, it's just like living in Phoenix, pretty much. But yeah, he lives out there.
Do you see him very often?
Recently I have been seeing him often. I just saw him this summer. We took a trip. We drove. I flew to Houston. We drove from Houston all the way to Ohio for what was the last? Was it Memorial Day? Memorial Day was the last holiday. For Memorial Day.
4th of July.
Memorial
Day.
Day?
Well, it was if it was a couple weeks
ago. It wasn't the 4th of July. It was Memorial Day.
All right.
Because the 4th of July was just a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, we drove out there the 4th of July. Memorial Day, and we had a good time. I got a chance to see all my family. Got a chance to see all my people.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had a real good time.
That's awesome.
Are you guys identical twins?
We are not. We're paternal twins. But you know, the more
What
we
does
get
that
older,
mean?
the older we are, huh?
What's that mean? I don't know the
Paternal?
difference.
Did I say paternal or paternal?
You said paternal.
Is it paternal or
Is
paternal?
your parent
Which
twin?
one is it?
I don't know.
Paternal.
It's pho?
Pho.
Okay,
Yes.
well, I know. I've been saying paternal all my life.
I have a paternal twin brother and sister.
It
Do you
made
really?
sense to me.
We're
Yeah, they
fraternal
come from the same
twins.
parents. I
Yeah.
guess.
One of them's totally blonde, and the other one's like redhead. And
What?
they look completely different. They act completely different.
That would be
Very
me and my
are
brother.
Yeah.
My
completely
brother's
opposites.
very. He's more like my dad. Very militant and kind of like just by the book and straightforward. And I was always like just the loud, just trying to be funny. And people would come to my brother when we was in school, like, man, you live with him. Man, I know you be cracking up. And my brother be like, nah, really, you get on my fucking nerves.
Yeah, he's fucking
I
annoying.
can't stand
man.
it. Yeah.
You try living with this shit 24 hours a day. It's fucking awful, man. I'm his least biggest fan. It's awful. I hate it. Nancy,
But we
you
definitely
have
had
a
that
big
same
family.
wavelength. We definitely, like, sometimes I'll talk to him and he'll be saying something that I was thinking. You know, that I have been or he'll be like, man, remember that time and I'll be like, you know what's crazy? I was thinking about that the other day. Yeah.
That's weird. Do you have that with any of your siblings? Because Nancy has a big
One
family.
of my sisters, yeah. Weird stuff, like we'll buy the same thing and be like, look what I got. And we're not, like we're close, but, you know, over the years we've kind of drifted apart just a little bit just because she's got all this freedom and I've got all these kids. So in that sense, but yeah, just like weird shit, like look what I bought. I'm like, oh, fuck. I just bought the same thing.
So was it like out the clothes?
Like this shirt. We both just bought this shirt. Like,
you know what is crazy?
crazy.
Me and my brother are like that. We have pretty much some of the same similar style. I guess because
and I don't like how she dresses either. So,
Yeah.
so it's really weird when
Yeah.
we're like right on, like weird shit.
We do that. I remember. Matter of fact, not the last time, but the time before. No, it was a couple years ago. I went to go see. I was on tour at the time, and it stopped near his house. We had a date in Beaumont. He was in Houston, and he had to go to work that day, so he was going to be gone during the day. But then when I came home, when I talked to him on the phone, we had made plans to go do something.
Yeah.
And I had on a polo shirt that was like a. It was one of them Ross polo shirts, you know, one of them neon.
Yeah,
colors.
yeah.
It was like a neon green. And I walked in the house, and he had on his neon green Lacoste shirt.
No way.
We had on the same exact shirt, and he changed like, man, I ain't wearing this, man. We look stupid, man. Why? He didn't like. I thought it was cool. Like, man, man, look. He was like, man. I used to hate when they used to dress us like when we was little.
Oh, did your parents do that with the twins
Yeah,
thing?
they did.
They played it up, huh?
For how long? Until I moved out.
They
That's
still
why I
make them
couldn't wait
meet
to
once a
leave.
year to take that family photo.
Man, they did it. I remember dressing like probably up until high school.
Oh
We started
shit!
becoming individuals, you know what I mean? Take everybody else.
Did you get picked on for that?
No.
Because you were bigger than everybody.
No, I wasn't even bigger than everybody. I just was funnier than everybody. Like I was the person that you really didn't want to.
Yeah, they would say something and then you'd say come back and
Man,
it would be even worse.
They would say something, and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, well I've been thinking about your ass anyway." And I pull out 101 joke book, and I go through 101 jokes on their ass. I've always been like that.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
Oh, so you're tall. Is your brother tall like you?
My brother is like 5'8".
Oh shit!
Wow.
You guys
no
are
wonder
really
he's
different.
pissed.
Yeah, we're very different.
Yeah, I'm like the runt of my family. Like
Okay.
everybody's taller than me.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, I'm way bigger than him. Way bigger than him.
So it sucks being shorter than everyone.
Yeah.
All my sisters are tall. My brother's tall. Everyone's tall, except me.
Your mom and dad tall too?
No, not at all. So
It skips
I know
you.
that they are my parents. I don't know about the other ones.
Are you the youngest?
No.
No?
No, just the
Okay.
shortest. So there's that.
Yeah.
It's whatever. It's cool.
Clayton, when you went to that open mic, did you write material before then, or did you just go up and talk?
I just went up and talked.
You did?
I just went up and talked about my day.
And how did it go?
It went over. I'm gonna tell you. This is what happened. The guy that was hosting the show, introduced me, and I went up and I talked about what was going on that day. I think the one joke I really remember was I was talking about how I got locked out my car that day, and I had to pay for a locksmith. The locksmith talking about $100. It was like $225. I mean, $225. How I got to pay you $225 to get into my car? And I was like, but you know what's crazy? If he'd have said $225 for an ounce, I'd have been like, what? Meet me halfway. I'd have had it.
Figure out how to get in your car.
I was just talking, and when I got done, the guy was like, really? Is this your first time doing this? I was like, yeah. He was like, when you get famous, don't forget it. He said it like that. He could have been, he could
Whatever.
Yeah. he could
Nah,
have
that's not true,
jerked my
dude.
chain.
We've been doing this shit long enough. If you go up for your first time and you suck, nobody's going to talk to you.
True. Yeah, that's true. And so I went up that week, and then I went up the next week, and I tried to repeat it wasn't.
That's the same shit that happened to me. I think it happens to a lot of people. You go up that first time, and in your case, you weren't prepared. You just went up and talked. A lot of cases, you over-prepare.
Yeah.
So you go up there, and you hit it like a script. You make people laugh. You're like, hell yeah, this is so easy. And get overconfident, and then you go that second time, and you just eat shit.
Reality, yeah. Because you know what I think, too? When people know it's your first time, they're rooting for you.
Yeah, that's
when people
true.
know that, okay, this is for they're kind of rooting for you. But
Yeah.
But even when I did it in high school, when I got signed up for the talent show, and then the next year I had to come back, I think the second year I might have kind of prepared. But I always thought that those people that got up there, it was just what was going on in their mind at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I saw Martin Lawrence, I was like, man, this dude, I really didn't think it was a script. I thought he was going off the top of his head.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. That's
Well,
what I thought
and
comedy
yeah.
was.
Is he your favorite comedian?
No. My favorite comedian of all time is Richard Pryor.
Did
It's
you
Richard
meet,
Pryor.
was it Mason, his son, when he was out here?
No, I didn't. But Richard Pryor is my favorite comedian. When I first started, Martin is a comedian that made me say I want to do it. It's crazy because when I was young, I would look at some Richard Pryor and be like, what's the big deal about him? Like, he's not really. I mean, I hate to say this. I was young. I didn't know nothing about comedy. I just knew I liked Martin because he was animated and he was all over the stage. Mm-hmm. And then I would listen to Richard Pryor and I couldn't really get into it because he talked about his stuff. He talked about real life. He talked about what was going on with his kids, his marriage. I couldn't relate. But after I started doing it, and then like as I got older and I would listen to some Pryor, I'd be like, man, this dude is a genius,
right? A
straight up genius because he talks about. Pryor had the ability to talk about stuff in passing. Like he would be on a subject and then just make a quick point in passing, and he never elaborate on it. And you have so many comedians that have came after him that have elaborated on that one point he made in pass. Like that's how great he was. I remember he did a character Mudbone, and I never thought Mudbone was funny. I didn't really get it. When I was younger, I didn't really get it. And now that I do it, of course I get it. But he said this thing when he was like, there's only 2 pieces of pussy important in your life. I'm talking like Pryor.
That was a pretty good Pryor.
I know. And that wasn't even, it wasn't Pryor that said it, was Mudbone that said it. Mudbone had like a, I still kick a little ass now. He was like an old dude. And Mudbone was like, there's only 2 important pieces of pussy in your life. That's your first and your last. All that other shit in between don't amount to nothing or something like that. And I was like, that shit was genius. Genius. And he didn't even elaborate. He was just talking shit and said that.
Yeah.
Genius. And that's true.
It is true. Okay.
That's what I like about Pryor. Because when Pryor hit the stage, you got who he was. It wasn't a character.
Yes.
It wasn't. Yeah, he might have went into his characters, but it wasn't what he thought you might have thought was funny. It was exactly what he was feeling. And if there was any comic that I would like to if there was any way I would like to say my comedy, I would like for it to get to a point, because there comes a time where you have to find your voice, and it's all we always searching for it. I would love to talk about how I'm feeling, whatever's going on at the time of my life. I kind of I do it now, but that's the type of comedy I like.
You do it well.
Third eye.
Do you agree? And I agree with this. I didn't my first time around doing stand-up, but I do now as I'm older. And it's when I get off the stage, the audience should know something about me.
That's it.
If I get off the stage and all I did was tell jokes and they laughed, I feel let down. I didn't do my job.
It's not fulfilling.
That's
right?
It. But it's weird to say. Am I correct in saying that? I didn't do my job, because I did. I made them laugh.
But no one will remember you.
Right.
For something.
For something. It's worth, you did your job, because your job is to make them laugh. It's to be funny. That's your job. There's a whole bunch of different styles of comedy. It's a bunch of people that I couldn't stomach, but I applaud and respect the effort. It's not really my cup of tea, but I applaud and I respect the effort. But yeah, I'm the type where I want to leave you. I want you to know something, because a lot of times what happens is, when people go to a comedy club, or you go and you see a comic that's just up there rambling joke after joke after premise after premise after joke after premise after premise, and it's all funny, you will leave it with a sense of, well, how was it? Oh man, he was hilarious. Well, what did he say? Shit, I can't remember.
I don't know.
Tell me 3 things. Shit, I can't even remember.
Yeah.
To each his own, though. To each his own. I just like to talk about my life. I like to talk about things that I'm going through, things that I've been through, and things that I'm thinking.
Yeah. So do I, and I think that's what I want to be. That's what I keep working at. Is when I get off stage, the people know something about me. Yeah. And look, obviously I try to make it funny and make them laugh, but I talk about things that I know, because it's easier. Right. And it's more relatable too. Yeah. I don't do the weird character stuff. I try not to, because I can't. I'm not good at it.
It just comes naturally to you. You're just a weird character.
Yeah, I don't know. But okay, so you do the open mic, go up the second time, not so great. Did you go up right away after the first time?
Or how long did you wait? The following week.
Okay, cool.
I went up the following week.
So then, how does the Cat Williams thing progress to, and all that?
I met, and this is funny, because rewind 13 years, close to 14 years prior to that, when I was in Pasadena, California, I was a bouncer at this club. It was called Domenico's. It was like an Italian, bar, and they did a whole bunch of different stuff throughout the week, where DJs came in throughout the week. On Sunday nights they did comedy. They did comedy on Sunday nights, and I worked it. And those guys brought in people, that are still doing it to this day. Some people I saw on Comic View, and Cat Williams was one of those people. And I don't remember anything. I don't remember much of his set. I don't remember anything of his set other than his closer, which was about. He talked about driving a stick shift and having a jump started or push started or something like that. That's all I remember, because he brought a chair on stage. But it was all right. I didn't think he was, And then I remember, and at the time, like I said, I was living a totally different life. Comedy was a dream deferred. Comedy was a raisin in the sun. It dried up and withered away. I didn't even, I had, after just thinking I couldn't do it, or just didn't. I would sit there at those comedy clubs, and I didn't even have the itch to get on stage.
Weird.
I thought, I don't know. I guess I was in my football going to school mode, or
That's true.
I didn't really know who I was at the time, trying to figure it out. But I didn't have the itch to get on stage, and I would just watch those guys and just didn't think nothing of it. And then fast forward to 13 years later, I had been doing comedy for not even 2 years yet, like maybe a year and a half.
Damn.
And there was a guy who I do comedy out here, my comedy brother J-Mac. J-Mac was a young cat on the scene. We started around the same time, but he was really making a name for himself, because he was, J-Mac he's very cordial, you know, and he's outgoing. And,
Yeah.
and so he would go to places and be like, yeah, man, I do comedy, man, hit me up. You know, yeah, I do. Yeah. That's how he met people like that. You know, like, yeah, I didn't have the confidence to be like, yeah, motherfucker, I do comedy. I know I look like I'll kill you, but I do comedy. I know I look like I eat up everything in your house. So, but anyway, he had an opportunity to open up for Cat, but he couldn't do it because he was working. He was doing another gig. He was working another gig, and he hit me up. Was like, man, what you doing? You know, I got this opportunity to do this gig, and I can't do it. It's for Cat Williams. You want to do it? And I was like, hell yeah, I'll do it. Where's it at? He was like, it's at this place, the Celebrity Theater. Never been there.
Yeah, in the round,
in
dude.
the round.
Yeah,
it was in the round, and they gave me 10 to 12 minutes. And I was the opener. I was the opening act, and at the time, like I said, I only been in comedy for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, and the jokes they were funny, you know, but I didn't even know who I really was.
Right.
And I went up the first night, and I did good. I did damn good. Like, I did damn good. The place was packed. It was well over. I think it sits 3,000, and I think they had people. They took the roof off that motherfucker to fill it up. Man, Cat Williams can. I've seen him pack stadiums, arenas. You know what I mean? But this was my first, you know, and I went and did it the first night, and it was cool. I got off stage. And I was excited to see Cat because I remember, like I said, that story about me seeing him years later and now what he has become. Because I you know, when I saw he started blowing up when he was doing the you know, his Money Mike character and all that. I remember like, man, that's that dude I seen. Yeah. You know, like and he wasn't even that funny then, but he's funny as hell now. You know what I mean? Like, not that he wasn't funny. It's just, you know, he was developing. It's always developing. And I got off stage, and I was excited. You know what I mean? So I was like, where the man at? Is he here? And he was backstage. And I was like, he was in his dressing room, and he was addressing his people or whatever. And I was like, what's up, Cat? And he just looked at me like, how you doing? Oh man, it's so good. It's, you know, I you know, I'm a big fan. I remember seeing you 13 years ago, and he was just like looking at me like, okay. And so I was like, okay, I'm looking stupid. Let me backtrack real quick. I was like, oh, bro, you know, I'm Clayton Perkins, man. I just opened up tonight. You know, I didn't think he knew who I was. I saw your show. I started to holler, hey, Clayton, while you were talking. Basically as if to say, motherfucker, you just interrupted me. He went, man, he got big time on me. He got big time on me. And I was like, all right, bro, my bad. I ain't mean to, you know, disrespect what you got going on up in here. Oh, it's cool. I'm just in here talking to a couple of ladies. No, he said, this is exactly what he said. I'm just in here talking to a room full of ladies, but what does that matter?
You do a good Cat Williams impression, man.
He was, and I'm like, this motherfucker is dishing me. Yeah. And I'm thinking like, all right, I kind of came to, like, if there was ever a time, like you say, you had that starstruck moment, this might have been my only, maybe this is the reason why I'm not starstruck to this day. Because it wasn't like I was starstruck, it was just like, I'm doing it now, and I'm opening for him. I seen him years ago when he was just starting out, and he was, I walked out, and I could think he might have kind of tell, like, damn, I'm being harsh on this motherfucker, but I'm still, you know, he still was in that mode. Yeah. And he came out in the hallway while I was out there, and I was like, well, let me try to, you know, at least easy, like not make him think I'm trying to run up on him. You know, I don't know, because I'm a big guy too. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he was intimidated. He didn't have security.
But he's a little guy.
But yeah, so when he came out, I was like, man, are you from Dayton? Or are you from Cincinnati? Because I knew he was from my hometown. He was like, yes, I spent some. I was born in Dayton. I spent some time in Cincinnati. Like, he was still being like, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, okay, yeah, because I'm from Dayton. Okay, how much time did you do? And I was like, oh, about 10 minutes. I told him 12. It's okay, though. Tomorrow we'll get it together. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, bro, right on, man. So I walked away. And I remember going up to the host of the show. He was up there, and I was like, man, was he an asshole to everybody? Was this now I'm getting rowdy and shit. I should have said it to him, but I was like, man, was this motherfucker treating everybody like that? Like, what? Nah, he cool. He was like, yeah, he cool. You know, I was kicking it with him all week. I'm like, oh, well, shit, he was talking to me like I was some bitch or something. You know, I did it like that. And then I went home that night. I was upset. I ain't gonna lie. I was upset to the point to where I couldn't even enjoy his show.
No way.
I
'Cause,
couldn't
all right,
even
my
enjoy
question was after that. So you leave the venue.
I leave the venue.
And you're more upset than you are psyched that you just performed in front of all these people and did real well.
I couldn't even enjoy that. I just felt like, and I had posted it on Facebook. You know, that's what you do when you first start. You be all excited and you want to tell everybody, because it's something big, and that's when it's something big. Everybody want to ask you what's going on. And I remember I called my grandmother. My mother's mom, and this is important because my grandmother is the first person that ever said. She was talking about my grandfather to someone, and she's like, "Yeah, T, he just got a gift. He got a gift for giving. He's a giver, like Jerron. That's what they call me. My family calls me by my middle name, Jerron. Jerron has a gift for making people laugh. Jerron has a gift for laughter." And she was just saying it like to somebody, but it was just, and I overheard her say it, and that was the first time I ever heard of making people laugh being a gift.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before I thought it was just silly. You just a clown. They calling you stupid. You stupid. You know what I mean? But that was the first time I ever heard it. And it wasn't one of those moments where she patted me on my back and she was just talking to people, talking to somebody and just said it in passing. And I was like, it's a gift. It's a gift. Now, I said, but now, that I'm doing it, it really truly is. But she knew I was doing it. So she called me and was like, "How did it go?" Like, "Hey, how did it go?" That's how my grandmother talking. "Hey, how did it go?" And my grandmother got one of them deep voices, you know what I mean? One of them Benson and Hedges voices. "Hey, this your grandmother. How did it go?" And I was like, man, he was an asshole. I told her the story, and she was like, "What?" Well, I tell you what, don't even worry about that. When you get there tonight, it's your show. Don't worry about him. Don't worry about none of that. I'm upset. It was a messed up experience for you. But when you get there and you get on the mic tonight, it's your show. Go out there and you have a good time and have your show. If he don't want to talk or however he is, now you know how he is. Now you know. Like, some people are like that. And it just so happened when I told myself, I was like, well, like maybe yesterday I was a little overzealous. Today I'm not gonna really trip on it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was walking in. The second night he had security. He had some big motherfuckers. Like, I'm a big motherfucker. He has motherfuckers that was like twice the size of me. So I don't know if he went and hired security. Like, yeah, I got this big motherfucker I disrespected last night. He might want to fuck me up. So I need y'all on my staff. But anyway, we was walking in the hallway and we was walking past each other. We caught eyes and I was like, "All right, bruh." You know what I mean? All right. And we kind of got a head nod and excuse me, walked past each other. And that was that. I wasn't nowhere, I'm not going to worry about it, And I went out on stage, and I remember what my grandmother told me, and I went out there, and the second show was better than the first show. Like, the first show was good. The second show was even better, was much better. And, I had them going. And I remember I got off stage, and they was,
applause.
Because the thing about the celebrity, man, when it's a crowd in there,
yeah.
Oh, my God. They was clapping. And then as soon as I got off stage, he was the first person I saw coming through the curtains. And the first thing he said was, "Oh, yeah, you can go on the road with us."
No way.
Just like that. Just like that.
Wow.
Just like that. Just like that. So, I'm glad that Cat Williams was bipolar. I'm glad that, whatever. But no, Cat good people, man. I'm always going to have a spot in my heart for Cat Williams because he actually... and that's what he does, That's what he does. It wasn't just me that went on tour with him, and it wasn't, other comics have done shows for him and with him, and he allowed me to experience what some people call like rock star comedy or whatever. Mm-hmm. It was comedy that I couldn't even fathom. I couldn't imagine. We was on tour buses. We was on buses going to venues, and we was parked, like when you go to like where teams play, the bus parked up under, it was like being on an NBA team or something. We parked up under the damn building and went through the back way so nobody even saw our faces, and then you look through the curtain, you see all these people. He put me in front of thousands. He took good care of me. He flew me. It was during the holidays when we toured. So he made sure I got back home for Thanksgiving with my family. I spent Christmas with my family, and I was on tour. And I looked at it like it was something to shoot for. Like he gave me something to shoot for because I would never dreamed it to be that big.
How long were you on tour with him?
We did 3 months. I did 19 days, but the tour that we did, the official tour, was the Catpocalypse tour. It was 3 months.
And those tour buses are nice.
Nice, man. You know what it's like being in a tour bus? It feel like somebody is got you in their arms and they rock you.
Yeah.
I slept the whole time, man. I slept the
One
whole
thing
time.
about sleeping, one thing that was weird when I learned was you sleep with your feet to the front of the bus.
That's exactly what I did. Is that
You
what
have
they tell you
to,
to do?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, they must have told me that. 'Cause I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Because if you get,
because if you
hit
break
something or whatever,
you
yeah.
break your neck. Yeah, that
Right.
makes sense.
You'd
And
rather
you
break
know
your
what?
ankles.
That is. I'm sure they told us that because that's what I did.
Yeah.
But man, those buses. But this was, we had 2 tour buses. It was one,
oh yeah. So I was gonna ask you about this.
yeah. We had 2 tour buses. It was one that was pretty much his bus.
Yes,
with his entourage. Cat Williams' entourage is women. He had an entourage full of women.
Yeah.
His entourage, and it was the other bus that was me and a couple other comics, and his children were on the bus.
Your bus.
Was on our bus, and they were well behaved, well mannered, good kids. I ain't trying to. It ain't about him right now. I'm just saying. This is just a testament to what type of person he truly is. You know what I mean? Good people. I told him that too. But yeah, we rolled. Man, his tour was crazy. It was like I said, 2 buses. He had hitches for cars. So he had a Bentley on one hitch. He had a Porsche that he drove. Like he followed the bus most.
Yeah.
Every now and then he'd get on and rest. He had 5 dogs. Somebody to take after the dogs. Then he had the DJ. Then he had security that was riding in there. I mean, this was like riding.
It was a production.
This was a production. That's that's the best way to put it. It was a production.
Yeah, I heard that about Cat. That wherever he goes, he has his car or bus.
Yep.
And then he has another car for everybody else.
Yep.
And they just follow or wherever. It's like it's totally separate.
Yeah.
But that's cool, man. Do you still talk to him at all?
Nah, I don't.
You said something last night that I thought was pretty cool.
What?
Because somebody, I think, asked if you were going back on the road with him, and you said no.
Oh, yeah.
But you said because you don't. You can say it, I guess, if you want.
I'm gonna say no because he didn't ask me to go. But I say truthfully, what I said was, and I mean this, I don't want to be the guy that's opening up for the guy that's next to the guy. When you come see the guy, oh, here's this guy, by the way. I don't want to be that guy. I'd rather be the guy that people come to see. Now, I know I'm nowhere near that level, but I'm just saying, I don't think it's good when you're an artist. And I'm not even speaking of comedy because this was a once in a lifetime opportunity. I had a great time. But when I think of entertainment, like I think of I think the example I used was like Dr. Dre. Like Dr. Dre is good. I mean, Dr. Dre was the shit, and Eminem was the shit. But who was Eminem compared to Dr. Dre? Eminem was the shit, and 50 Cent was the shit. But who was 50 Cent compared to Eminem? 50 Cent was the shit, and Young Buck, Lloyd Banks, all of them was the shit. But who were they compared to 50 Cent?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, I'm only using their names to say that, either you're going to be the one waiting for somebody to give you the handout or you're going to be the one that's going to go get it.
Yeah. No, I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good thought. And you're right. You keep hanging on and you get in that comfortable place. It's probably the same for people that have jobs that they don't like and they just stay in it because they're comfortable.
Right.
They get the pay and the insurance. Right.
Yeah.
And you get into that as a comic too. You keep opening for the same guy over and over again year after year. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, shit, I mean, this is comfortable, but what am I doing for my career?
Yeah.
Let's make me happy, and that's good, man.
There's really no growth there. And my thing was, like I said, I didn't look at it like, because I know a lot of people would have got off of something like that and just panicked, like, oh, what do I do next? These people are expecting me to be somebody and something. Well, if you get into any kind of, if you get, I'm not going to say entertainment. If you have a gift or you're doing art, if you're sharing your gift or sharing your art to become famous off of it, then you're doing it for the wrong.
Yeah, 100%. Like what, Nance? Have you ever wanted to be famous?
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, what did you want to be?
Maybe a comedian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Have you ever gotten on stage?
Not yet. But then it's weird because the more I hang around the comedy club, the more I'm just like, this is kind of a life I don't think I'm really interested in.
Really?
I like seeing you guys go up on stage, and I like being a part of it. I love doing the show, but the more I'm around, I'm just like, ooh, this is kind of a grind.
It is.
And even when you're famous and rich from it, it's a grind.
Yeah.
Well, it's not stable.
No.
I mean, even when you make a lot of money doing stand-up, it's like, all right, now that this tour or whatever is over with and I made all this money, now what?
Now what? Yeah.
I've got to do another hour and make it really funny. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it really is. Because I look at a guy like Cat Williams. Like when I toured with him, he was working out his set, and not everybody has that luxury to say, well, I'm trying to work with this new hour, but I'm gonna do it in front of 9,000 people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know. You know, I think I'm not gonna say for him, but I can see how for some people you can get so big, or you believe what people tell you so much that you don't think, all right, it's not feasible for me to go to Domenico's bar and work out this material when, especially for a person like Cat Williams, when he can sell tickets, you know, and work out material. But at the same time, you know, you have to tell yourself, okay, do I want to cheat these people?
Yeah.
You know, while I'm working it out. But when you get so big, man, when the money is, like you said, it's not stable. So when the money is there for the taking, I guess you got to take it. I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I want to know. I don't know. But I love the lifestyle. Do you love it?
I do. I love comedy, man. I just love. I've always loved comedy though. But the lifestyle, you mean the lifestyle? The way the kind of lifestyle I think of, I'm not thinking like lifestyle, a lavish lifestyle. I'm just thinking like the fact that you are alert 24/7. That's what the lifestyle of a comic is. Yeah. You are at 24/7. You take note of every little thing and what could be funny, or what's the basis of what you're looking at. What does this? That's one thing I do.
Like
love.
when something shitty happens to you, you're like, dude, this sucks. But then again, this is awesome.
Man, this is gonna be yep. And that's what I do.
I got a new 5 or 10 minutes. This is awesome.
I do. I'll be going through something and be like, how can I say this on stage and make them laugh? About it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like the guy that shut the light on me while I was taking a shit in the public restroom. Like, that sucked. But I said it on stage. It was awesome. Yeah, right. Like, dude, I got another story to tell.
Yep.
Well, damn. Do you have any other questions for Clayton?
No. You're funny.
No, thank you.
I don't know.
Dude,
It's like hearing you talk, you crack me up.
I'm so glad we finally made this happen and we did it. You are Hall of Famer, man. Anytime you want to come back,
for sure.
Get your ass in here, promote everything that you want, man, and let me know when you can't come in. You want something to promote? Let me know,
okay,
and we'll shout it out for you because you're the fucking best, man.
Right on.
And when you make it huge before me, I'll open for you for 3 months.
Oh, definitely.
And then I'll tell good stories.
Definitely. You'll be on your own bus. I don't want to have to look at you. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, for sure, definitely.
Oh man, well, all right, guys. Again. Show this Thursday, July 31st, 8 p.m., Stand Up Scottsdale in the side room. Get your ass there to see 5 comics and then see us talk to them. Different kind of show, and that'll air on next Sunday. Nance, anything?
No, thank you so much for being here for our 50th episode, and thanks everyone for listening. This has been such
so much
fun ride.
So much fun.
Right
thank you, my man.
Thanks, man. You're right up.
This has been another great presentation of the Four-Eyed Radio Network. You can catch more shows at foureyedradio.com.